Good morning. Thank you for joining us on Center Stage, Nonprofits of Tucson. We talk to different nonprofits and we get to hear about what they're doing in Tucson and their commitment to make a positive impact in our city. We are going to have a really good show today, so I'm glad to have you here listening in. We have two guests. Our nonprofit guest is Kathy Ogden, an ambassador for Courtney's Courage. So thank you, Kathy, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And then our second guest is actually a sponsor. So this is a really cool opportunity that we get to hear from both a nonprofit and a sponsor. So representing Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, we have Richard Dorman, the Director of Sales and HVAC Install. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're going to start out, this is a really cool opportunity to hear from kind of both sides, to hear how this nonprofit has impacted a business that they're wanting to support them. Just hearing the stories and knowing what they're doing is enough to really to make you want to get involved. And so it's cool to hear from Right Way and how they have been able to be involved. But really, we want to hear about Courtney's Courage. Can you tell us about what it is, a little bit maybe about how it started?
Absolutely. Well, Courtney's Courage is a nonprofit corporation dedicated to raising funds for childhood cancer research and also providing family support services for childhood cancer patients and their families who are being treated at Diamond Children's Medical Center here in Tucson. How this all began is my daughter was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, a childhood cancer, when she was 9 months old. And she fought for 3 years, and then unfortunately, on Thanksgiving Day of 1999, she passed away from neuroblastoma. During the time, the 3 years, we spent a lot of time in the hospital, a lot of time in the clinics, getting blood products, just a lot of hospital time. And we also saw while we were there, a lot of families really struggling. Generally, if you have a child diagnosed with cancer, one of the parents needs to leave their job. Generally, it's been the mother that has had to leave her job. And then you take away an income, and then you're in a situation now where more money will be going out. So it's just a tough situation. So Courtney's dad and I decided we wanted to do something first to try to find a cure, help find a cure for this horrible cancer that Courtney had. And secondarily, helping families, people just needing help with rent or utilities, gas, groceries. On top of everything else, you're stressed out, you're worried about your child, and then you have the additional financial worries, which can mount and become tremendous. So we started the first year raising funds for a piece of equipment that Steele Children's Research Center needed to help with their research. And so for the first year of our golf tournament, we raised $54,500. And we figured we were going to be a one and done. And we were encouraged by both Jerry's employer and my employer to continue on and helping other childhood cancer families that, were going through what we had gone through. So fast forward, we will be having our 25th annual golf tournament this year in August.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing. It's so good to know where something started and why there's such a passion for helping others going through this. And so thank you for sharing your story. And, as a mom listening, it's always hard to hear about a family that has to go through such a difficult time, and especially if it results in the loss of their child. And it's something that you never expect to happen. And so it's not like you can plan for it. And to hear that you've been able to go through this really difficult time and to work together to help other families going through similar situations. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done. And it's so needed, and it's so great that you were able to make that happen. And 25 years, that in itself is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, since we're talking about the golf tournament, what are some ways that someone could get involved with that? Is that something that, maybe they want to come and play golf or they want to come and volunteer? What would that look like?
Absolutely, it would be both, Danielle. We have opportunities to volunteer the day of the event. We have people sitting at the holes, at the prize holes. We have people handing out ice cream, sandwiches. So we have a need, registration, handing out the goodie bags. So we have a need for volunteers for that day. Also, we absolutely want and need golf sponsors. If you go to Courtney'sCourage.org on the web, you'll find all the opportunities for sponsorships. And which is how I can say Right Way became involved with us. About 10 years ago, one of our board members was working for them at the time. So they have been kind enough to, be a sponsor every year and continue. And with their help and that of our other sponsors, we're able to take care of these families and work with them. Everybody's need is different. Everybody's journey is different. They may not need some immediate help, but then all of a sudden things start piling up and they need some additional help, or they just need an outlet. They need to do something. So anyhow, we try to provide a number of opportunities for them. And
for this event, I think you said, I'm trying to remember the number, the first year it was $54,000, is that right?
Yeah, $54,500 that we raised that first year. And what I can tell you now, like I say, our mission is twofold. It's research funds for childhood cancer and also family support services for families and the kid going through treatment. Really proud. I just found out actually a couple hours ago that to date, through December 30th, 2023, we have given Steele Children's Research Center $1,015,540 in 24 years. And that
Wow.
we are extremely proud of. We're really a grassroots organization. That just made me feel really proud what we have been able to do, and really make a dent in research. Research is not inexpensive, as everybody knows, but to can say, hey, we have donated over $1 million to research in the last 24 years is pretty exciting.
That is exciting. That must feel, it's just so good to know, because that is such an impact that is being made through that.
It is, and the money that we give to Steele, some of that has been seed money for seed research, and that has resulted in over 5 or might even be $7 million of grants through the NIH, National Institute of Health, because of the seed money provided by Courtney's Courage. So it is even bigger impact than, I don't want to say just $1 million, but out of $1 million, they've gotten a lot of run for their money on that.
Yeah, that is so amazing. That's huge. 25 years, that is huge. And so, again, it's a really cool thing if someone is able to come and play or to sponsor the event. Hearing how much you've been able to give, it also just shows how much the community has supported you in this and coming alongside and being part of it, because it is so important, especially for the families who are learning of new diagnoses for their kids.
Exactly. Yes.
Are there other events that someone can get involved in as well?
Absolutely. We this will be the fourth year on November 23rd that we will be participating with a team called El Tour for Tots in the El Tour de Tucson bicycle race. So up until 4 years ago, our big fundraiser was our golf tournament, and then we wanted to kind of reach out to a different demographic. We, love the golf tournament, continuing that. So we have a new group of people, and so we are looking for riders. And what we do is we ask that they, raise money for Courtney's Courage. We have team rides. Everything is already actually scheduled out through, starting actually in March. And then they will, ride in weekends and weekend rides for the team until the actual event. So it's a great way to become involved. We need volunteers the day of the event, also to kind of cheer our riders along. So that's another great way you can get involved.
Okay, so Richard, are you a golfer? Are you a biker? Do you do both?
I'm a golfer.
Okay.
But for us doing Courtney's Courage, it's a big deal because it's Tucson community.
Hmm.
So that's partly why we like to do it, because it's here. We're not donating time and money for things that don't involve our community. So for us, very, very important to be involved in the community and things that we do.
And these are such good opportunities too, where the community can get involved in a really tangible way, I guess. And we will talk about more opportunities to get involved in the next segment. But I do want to ask, how has COVID affected Courtney's Courage?
It affected us tremendously. We used to have a lot of contact in the hospital. Those of us that were delivering the angel packs and siblings packs to the children, delivering meals, providing food for the entire inpatient floor or the clinic. Everything came really to a screeching halt, as you can understand. Masks and all were not new to cancer families, but they then were not able to have the siblings come to the hospital. We were trying to get things to them as quickly as possible, but we had to rely on the social workers and child life specialists to get the information and to get the the packs and everything to the children, and they were already overloaded because they were really doing everything on their own there. So it was very difficult for the families. They felt isolated. You're in a very it's a rough situation, and then you're really trying to deal with the COVID and not being able to have people come in and relieve the parents. It's a lot to be with a child for 24 hours, and that's what they were required to do without any change of of help. So it was very difficult. Like I say, we pursued through. I mean, we were not able to do any mom's dinner outs, which we used to do. No more sibling events, because that would mean getting people together. We have a Southwest Hope and Healing Bereavement Retreat that we had to cancel that year because people couldn't all get together. So it was difficult, and it's still kind of coming back. It has not completely gotten back to pre-COVID, but I think a lot of businesses and places would say the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will talk more about that and some of the services that are being provided after the break. If you are just listening, we are talking with Kathy from Courtney's Courage and hearing about what they are doing in our community and some of the impact they've been able to make in the last 25 years. We are back talking with Kathy from Courtney's Courage and talking with Richard from Right Way. So if you missed the first segment, we got to hear a little bit about the impact that Courtney's Courage has had over the last 25 years. And just because it was a really impressive number, I want you to share again how much you've been able to give toward research.
Yes. Through December of 2023, we have given to Steele Children's Research Center $1,015,540. And we are so proud of this number. We're just so proud of this number.
Absolutely. It's amazing. I mean, it is really amazing. And, to hear about how much you are able to do both for that and for families, I mean, it is really incredible. And I want to have a chance for listeners to hear a little bit more about what this looks like. So when a family receives a new diagnosis, what's kind of the process of what that looks like and what they might be going through in the first weeks or month and kind of how you're able to come alongside and to support them?
Okay. Basically, when a child is diagnosed, an oncologist and a social worker will meet with the family and go over, the details of what type of cancer, what they are looking at in terms of treatment, how long, et cetera. Generally, within 2 weeks of that, the social workers will connect them with Courtney's Courage, and the initial contact is through what we call our Courtney's Angel Packs. And a personalized backpack is given to each child that has items in it that the idea is that they will keep them busy, during their hospital stays or their stays at the clinic. So the parents generally will fill out a form, and if they are, big Spider-Man freaks or whatever, whatever their interests are, and depending on the age, of course. So we do that. Also, if there are siblings involved, siblings feel so left out. It's a really tough situation for siblings. The attention is obviously on the child with cancer, as it needs to be, and a lot of the dynamics in the family, just change because of that. So by having sibling packs, we ask the child with cancer to take them home to their siblings and give them something. And it's a way to thank them for all of their support that they'll be, giving them along the way. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback for both of those. And most of our families participate in that, probably 95% of the newly diagnosed. Financial assistance, mortgage payments, rent, utilities, cell phone, other various needs. What the social workers really appreciate with Courtney's Courage, because we're local, most requests that they give to us are funded in less than 24 hours. Some of them within an hour. If you've got utilities being closed, shut down on Friday night at 5 o'clock and we get a call at 4:15, that bill will be paid. And the families are most grateful for that, as are the social workers. Like I say, they're the ones that, get the information to us. A mom's dinner out. We had a request from a couple of moms, probably 10 years ago. It'd be nice to have just a dinner out away from the hospital, just to kind of talk to other moms, and moms talking to moms. It's really, really important. And at the hospital, you don't have a lot of time to do that because you're taking care of your child, or you're getting them something. But that has been a very positive program that we have. Teen and young adult support group. They meet monthly. Can't say enough about this. It's tough being a teen with cancer. You're kind of getting ready to spread your wings. Maybe you're high school, getting ready to go on to college, and then you become very dependent again. So it's a very tough time, for your teen and young adults. Sibling events, again, we haven't really been able to do those since COVID, so that's kind of on hold. We had an essentials event that started during COVID, and that was we all kind of remember the days you couldn't find toilet paper and paper towels and all of that, cleaning supplies. We still are doing that in October of each year, getting supplies. And that's something that we will be posting on our Facebook page and on our website, of items that people can bring and donate, toilet paper, Kleenex, whatever is on our list. So that's another way people can help. Holiday Adopt a Family, we adopt 6 to 8 families a year. The hospital gives us the names of the families in most need. We do that. And then, of course, sometimes, unfortunately, the end of a treatment or cancer is the death of a child. And so we have done this Southwest Hope and Healing Bereavement Retreat every August. And that's where the families get together, and the siblings. It's for everybody. And we have, professional, social workers and people leading, different discussion groups and all. So we're trying to cover something for everybody, that not every family is going to take advantage of all these programs, but they certainly will, take advantage of some of them. Just briefly, if you want to know an idea, in Pima County or at Diamond Children's, there are about 65 new cancer diagnosis of children a year. Now, that doesn't mean they're all from Tucson. We get our children also from Rio Rico, Nogales, Sierra Vista, Douglas, Tucson, and obviously. So about 65 new diagnoses. Then you have, treatment is from 6 months to 5 years, depending on the type of cancer. So a rolling number. Yearly, you probably have about 215 children in treatment, whether it's maintenance or active treatment. So that gives you an idea of how many, per year.
Thank you for sharing just all of the information. I feel like it's helpful to see a better picture of what some of the families are needing, and what kind of a support you are going to be to them through Courtney's Courage. And just seeing some of the different ways to help. I mean, you mentioned several different things where Courtney's Courage is helping to meet the need so that the family isn't alone, and to try to come alongside and support and encourage them through the process. And I heard gift cards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of my favorite stories is we had a young man who was 16, and he was finishing treatment, and his girlfriend had been by his side the whole time, and what he wanted, and it was a bone marrow transplant he had gone through, and he loved Olive Garden, excuse me, and so we got him a $50 gift card to Olive Garden, and we pinned it up on the bulletin board in his room, and that was like his motivation to get through and walk every day, do what the doctor said, so that he could take his girlfriend out for dinner when he was done. I'll still never forget the picture that we got from Mom, as the kids were heading out the door. So that was a that's just one of many different things and how important it is. But we can use gift cards, Target, Walmart, gas cards are so important. Whew. Especially for the families that are traveling, not just in from the Tucson area, but the outlying counties.
And grocery?
Oh,
Would grocery
groceries.
also?
Yes, absolutely. Safeway, one of our board members on Safeway, they're a sponsor of our golf tournament also. So we try to, encourage, Safeway gift cards. Also, some places they have gas. So you can also do a card for Safeway that can also be used for gas. So anything like that is helpful. And periodically you'll see us asking for, anyone can donate any gift cards. One lady made pillowcases for us for a couple of years to put in our angel pack. So that was a cool thing. It's something different, that we were able to add. So yes.
So it sounds like there's a lot of creativity. There are different ways that you could find something that you're passionate about to give, whether it's through something like the gift cards. Are people able to donate things like toys for the kids, for those packs for the child with the diagnosis and the siblings?
Yes, they are. The thing is, it's what we do is we get a specific list from the family of what to put in it.
Mm-hmm.
But Spider-Man's big. Spider-Man pajamas. A lady wanted to donate some pajamas. She thought that was important. So I think it was Spider-Man and Barbie. Pajamas, and at some point we're going to have a child that's going to fit in those, and we'll just throw something extra in there, for them. So absolutely.
And do you accept toiletries all year, or is that just in October?
It's really so far most likely just September and October. Basically because of space, we don't have. We try to fill the needs for 40 families each year, so that's a lot of toilet paper and Kleenex and all to be storing. But yes, but that will be on our website starting in September. And so people can look and whatever they'd like to donate would be just greatly appreciated.
And then if someone wanted to give financially, how do they give? Do they go to your website?
Yeah, excuse me. Going to the website and there's a tab that says, donate. And you can go there. You can donate in honor of someone, in memory of someone. You can donate specifically for family support services. You can donate specifically, for research. And it might be an angel kit, that you want, to donate to. So, or if you just want it to go generally for any of our family support services, just so we're an all nonprofit, or the board is all unpaid. So we're all volunteers, and 96 cents of every dollar goes directly to our families and to research. So I think that's a number we're also extremely proud of. Our overhead is low. Our board president is donating office space at his office, for us to have a room and place to store some items. So we want as much money as possible going to the kids and the families.
Absolutely. And while we were in the break there, Richard, you mentioned something that was really impactful for you, going to the golf tournaments and listening to stories. Can you share just a little bit about that with us?
Yeah, so every year do a luncheon, and there's a spotlight family essentially, and you get to hear the story. And just hearing the story for me, it can be your neighbor. It's very close. Courtney's Courage is just our community. So in our Right Way family, we actually have an employee who lost a daughter to the same thing that Kathy's daughter went through. So for us, it's very close. And again, they can be your neighbor. These people are in our community. Courtney's Courage takes care of just our community. So super impactful for us, being that we're a Tucson community as well.
And being able to hear those stories, I think, is something that's really special in connecting to people that have been there and who are either have gotten past a certain, difficulty or who are going through it. It's always very impactful to just see how close to home that really is. Thank you. I want to say both from Courtney's Courage, thank you, Kathy, for being here.
Thank you.
And can you give us just real quick that website again if someone wanted to donate or to reach out?
Absolutely. Is www.courtneyscourage.org.
And thank you, Richard, also for being here from Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. And we really do appreciate Right Way sponsorship of this show. I think it is so important to be able to get the word out there about what nonprofits are doing in our community locally. And so I just thank you for being a part of that.
Well, thanks for having us.
And then also thank you to Indie Realty. And if you do know someone who you'd like to hear on the show for Center Stage, you can reach out at centerstagetucson@gmail.com.